It's pretty exciting to see you fight. You've been training with us a lot more lately at Martial Arts Unlimited. It's been pretty exciting to see you.
This is all I want to do, you know what I mean? I know I could practice something and I can do it.
I'm going to tie this into the idea of the confidence that I see in my fellow brother, like being in martial arts.
Yeah.
You know, that feeling that you talked about of, you know, doing something and just feeling like it's in your blood and it's in your veins is kind of how I felt when I got exposed to MMA.
It's such a beautiful thing that, like, if you don't have a genuine look into something, whether it's like martial arts or people's different passions or things, you have such a surface level view of it. To just look at it as two people fighting is just such a basic mental way of looking at it, man.
This is the OBAs podcast, the King's podcast.
Yes, thank you so much for coming today. It's my pleasure to have you in here today.
Thank you, brother.
One of the exciting things that you have coming up, which is the reason I knew I wanted to get you in the studio, is you have an exciting upcoming fight here in Victoria.
Yeah. Let's go.
And in my opinion, I would say that you are headlining the card for us local fighters, because it's really exciting to see you, you know. All my life, I think I've known you in Victoria.
Yes.
So it's like something is happening in Victoria and you train in Victoria. You've always been in Victoria.
Yeah.
A couple of times you've had to fly out of Victoria to get fights, but only a few times do we get to see something happening in town.
Exactly.
So it's like to see you front and center of the first part. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, brother. That's it's, you know, I love this city. Like, we have such a small fight community, but even when I was younger, before I even started fighting, Stan, who's putting the card on, he's always been putting cards on, and like, for such a small community, we've had like we have a decent sized fight community, you know what I mean? And it's funny coming to this point, like, it's a full circle moment, because I'm kind of like, I'm an OG in this game now. Yeah, no, I'm a veteran. So just being able to see guys like you starting to compete, and like the next group of young guys coming up, you know, it's just it's beautiful, man. I love this stuff. So just to see the growth of the sport, you know, because there's times it has been stagnant. But yeah, man, we're here.
I think the last time we had something in Victoria that I remember was 2 or 3 years ago.
It was December of 2023, so like the end of 2023. Cassius and Greg, they put on a card
together, and it was an exciting card. I felt the event was great, the vibe that it was great, the audience was great. I kind of felt like, Victoria, we should do something else again. So I'm like, how did it take this long to hook something up again?
It's just, I think it's a matter of communication, you know, we're right next to Vancouver, and we have I think we have the roster, we have the talent. It's just, I think it's about the communication and with the working together, right? Community is so important, especially just in general, but in a sport like this, in a niche sport like combat sports, like the community, it's what brings everything together, right? So it takes everybody working together, and it just takes communication and community and being there for each other and being able to, you know, collaborate, because like I said, we have so much young talent here that's going to be on this card, and I think it's just going to take a card like this to kind of bring things back. Yeah.
And just like you said, man, we have lots of people here that I feel, look at this card that's coming together. We have like lots of folks. Like, it's so exciting from MAU. Like, we have a couple guys. Yeah. I know a couple people. Waylon, Danny. It's like, and I feel we can do this every 6 months, man. We can do this every 6 months.
That's what it should be, you know what I mean? And it hopefully this will start something where even I wish we could do it every 3 months, because compared to other provinces, they have such a grassroots program where even the young kids under like 13, under 16, they do like neck down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So they get to compete, but they don't hit in the face, just body and legs, you know what I mean? And it helps build them up to, at some point, you know, you can start taking the head damage, you know what I'm saying? So I think I think it's just everybody has to work together. Teamwork is such an important thing.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's talk a bit more about your fight, particularly coming up. It's pretty exciting to see you fight. You've been training with us a lot more lately at Martial Arts Unlimited. It's been pretty exciting to see you.
Yeah.
How has training been? Your what I would call like your fight camp, preparing for this fight.
It's been good, man. It's probably one of the better camps I've had in a long time. It's fight camps are like such a crazy thing. It's you're just kind of training year round to just kind of better your technique, improve yourself just as a martial artist. And once you're zeroing in on a specific event, it's things kind of ramp up, whether it's the sparring, the training, and it's not as much skill building. It's just kind of getting the body and the mind right. You know what I mean? Obviously there is still skill involved and there's still lots of aspects like that, but it's just kind of more about keep getting your conditioning, your sparring and things like that. So the timing, speed. Yeah, like for me, this camp it's been really good, man. It's been one of the better camps I've had in a long time. Like just as not even as the physical, definitely the physical aspect, just the mental aspect. This game is, as it's so up and down, man. Going through a fight camp, it's hard, right? You're tired, your body's beat down, and you still have to kind of show up every day. But like I feel this has been like mentally, this is the best I've ever felt. You know what I mean? Like other things that can kind of plague just anybody, right? Like mental health issues and things like that. Like I feel like you can never say like I've beaten this. Yeah. But I've tamed the beast.
Yeah, you've tamed the beast. And it's really exciting to see you in this mode because you've trained with us before and this fight card evolved and you were more of like you're lighthearted. It's like you're nice and easygoing. But now like we trained recently and man, you pissed me off. Like you messed me out. It's like it's a different person. It's like nice. You're sharper. You have a stronger base. You're more direct with your shots, and it's like I can't wait to watch you fight because I get to watch it this time. So I'm like, I can't wait to see you perform. Because
exactly. And you grow whether you win or lose. And I think you get to do this more in jiu-jitsu is because you get to stay more busy, right? It's just like the best thing is like you get to like come back and you get to watch and be like, okay, what can I work on? And I feel like, not to get off topic, but I feel like that was one of the aspects just fighting in martial arts has taught me, because I felt like growing up, like I wasn't really like, I used to be a fat kid when I was young, you know what I mean? So I wasn't the most athletic, you know what I mean? I felt like I always even had heart. Like I played basketball and that's what kind of led me into martial arts, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I felt like school, I was never the best at school, and especially like, being African, that's number one, if you don't go to university, and it's like, I never felt like I was like maybe book smart, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like martial arts and not even the fighting. The fighting aspect is what drew me to it, but the being able to evolve every day, it taught me about myself. It taught me discipline, respect others. It taught me just being a good person, and like whatever happens in the gym happens in the gym. Like I was saying, like that aspect of being able to turn it on and switch it off, like you know what I mean? Turn it on, switch it off, turn it on, switch it off, and that duality of being that person, of being like I can be a savage, but I'm like a kind-hearted, caring human being, so. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And just speaking about your childhood and growing up, so I know a little bit about you, which is you came here as a refugee. Yes. And you moved to Canada, and you've also been to other parts of the world. I think you've been to Sweden. Yes. And how was that experience? And at what point did you find martial arts like on this journey? So We left Africa when I'm Rwandese descent, but I was born in Uganda.
Okay.
We moved to Sweden and we lived there for about six years, 6.5 or something like that. So I was young when I left Africa, maybe 6 months old, like not even a year yet. And when I grew up in Sweden, there used to be a movie called Only the Strong, and it was about capoeira.
Oh, the capoeira dance?
Yeah, man. It was so, and we just loved it. And Cassius had boxed like a little bit here and there when we lived in Sweden. And
So Cassius is your uncle, right?
he's my brother.
Oh, he's your actual brother?
Yeah,
Really? No way. I'm so ashamed. I thought he was your uncle. No, you're not my brother, right? No, like you. So why do you have different last names?
just like family stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know how it is, like
Okay.
with that stuff. Yeah. So
I'm so sorry.
So yeah, it's all good, man. So I think he kept my grandparents' name, and we kept the different name.
Okay.
But so and then we had
So he used to box, and
he like here and there when we lived in Sweden. Then we watched this movie Only the Strong, and we just became like enamored by it. We loved it, and by the time we moved to Victoria, he started like maybe a year or two after he started training capoeira.
okay.
And a capoeira, if you don't know, it's a Brazilian martial arts, kind of mostly like a lot of acrobatics, and it's a lot of movement and body movement, but being a Brazilian martial art, a lot of aspects of other martial arts as well, obviously because of jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, or other aspects of martial arts they would do, whether it's the jiu-jitsu, the striking, and through that he kind of started boxing more regularly. And I'll fast forward the story a bit, but like I said, I was a fat kid. Like I used to go and watch them train martial arts, and they used to make me and one of the kids. They used to make us grapple each other. Like when I was like 10 or 11, like they used to make
play wrestling?
just play wrestling and make us fight each other, and then that stopped. And then I kind of, I wouldn't say went down the wrong path, and it was just kind of getting in trouble. Started playing basketball, and then Cassius was running kickboxing classes, so like I went there to start training just to get in shape for basketball a little bit more.
Yep.
And then just kind of fell in love with the sport there. I was probably about 16.
At what age was your first training? Like at what age and what was the first?
Like seriously, or just kind of
no, just like step into the gym.
maybe like 16.
16.
Yeah, my grade 11 year of high school.
At what point did you take it seriously in some sense? Like,
So
did you start to? Okay, I can't.
one of my best friends committed suicide when I was I would say like 19 turning 20. And like I said, like I was on and off training, and then that kind of like things like that will kind of change your trajectory in life. And after that happened, I was kind of like you're in a bit of a crossroads. And I needed something to like give my energy to, and like I don't want to go on in life having this thing of like I have this kind of passion that I'm playing around with, and just losing somebody like that, and it being, and it's like just having that mindset of like, this is something I love, and I don't want to have to go back in years and regret being like, man, I wish I took this path. And then maybe a year after all that stuff happened, like another who's it's started to make this like about this, but my brother's best friend, he actually committed suicide, and he was like a martial arts like a mentor almost to me, you know what I mean? And like things like that happen, you lose two people to mental health like that, you just kind of you start being like, man, I don't want to go through life holding on to this dream and this resentment. If I fast forward and being like, man, I wish I did this or this. It's like people are going through real things, and I'm blessed to have something that I love. So I have taken it for granted at times. We start training, and you start Sorry, but
No, it sounds like you went through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
Obviously, like that would break anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like you've also been able to grow from it in that
Yeah.
you've taken your passion seriously. You understand that life is a gift, and yeah, the plagues of mental health is really strong.
Yeah.
It's so brutal, and I can't even imagine having to have gone through something like that as a kid. How that would change your perspective radically.
Yeah, man, it does, you know, and I would like a lot of, I would say like I said, like how much martial arts give you confidence. I would go through times because to me both those individuals, like if you met them, like to me they're the most confident dudes in the world. You know, my buddy Shane, like like you would think these were the most confident people in the world, you know, and it would I'm better with it now, but like being able to look back and being like, no matter what, I can people can show you anything and tell you anything, but you don't really know what people are going through, right? And it's hard because now it's better because we're in a world where we can talk about these things, and there's a lot more vulnerability, and there's a lot more acceptability in being able to say these things and talk about how you feel, you know what I mean? And being able to express yourself, it's a beautiful thing to be able to do that, and tie it back to martial arts, like being able to express yourself out there. It ties into everything I do in life. And like I said, like I've had ups and downs with substance abuse issues and just partying and things like that, right? And you start creating these things in your head. It's like you have something that you truly love, you're truly passionate about, and I feel like it's your purpose, and you're not giving it your 100%. You know what I mean? And like to tie it back to like being mentally clear for this training camp is like I feel at peace.
Yep.
You know, there will be times that you feel bad, but you just got to be able to like kind of take yourself outside from those thoughts and be able to like understand that this is an emotion, and you'll go through it, and you'll feel it, and you'll manage a way to get out of it, you know?
Yeah. It's really valuable when someone like you kind of expresses this vulnerability and, talk about this, because it's really cool that we have martial arts as a way to kind of mold our life experiences. And someone like you who is deeply experienced and have gone through life itself with also deep experiences, and you've been able to kind of mold and have that back and forth of being grounded in martial art and having up and down in life, and then growing mentally that way, and then also growing in the sport, and also using the sport to kind of guide your character. So it's really cool when you express how you handle this thing, how you've dealt with it, how it's affected you up and down, and who you are today, and how you're still pursuing goals that you're passionate about.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Yeah, man, it is. It's just a blessing to be able to do that, right? And I'll take it back to I'll tell you the first tournament I ever did. Like they used to have the B first, and this might have been like the second one or even the third one or something. And the morning of the B first, so like the week of, me and Cassius were practicing this thing, and I was just like on the bag where I'd throw across to the body and just like throw a head kick over the top. And the morning of the B first, I trained like this was like, and I was just getting back to like training real. And that's why I've only trained for about 6 months. A lot of the more guys that trained a year, 2 years are way more experienced than me. But the morning of the B first, I'm doing that thing on the bag, and Cash is like, yo, what is that? I was just like, I don't know. I seen Anthony Pettis do it, so I'm fucking around with it. You know what I mean? And he's like, when I say code blue, he's like, hit that. And I was like, okay, I guess so. And I remember we start, the competition starts, and I hit the kid with like a 1-2 inside low, and he tried to throw it. I slipped out of the way. I was just like, oh shit. I was like, oh god damn, I made that look good. And I just felt that in the morning, like, wow. And so we're going at it, and I remember hitting him with a body shot, and he kind of like, I watched him go, ugh. And then my brother said cold blue, and I kind of caught him with it, but his hand was up. Hit him with another cross to the body, and then he's kind of backing up, and I just heard Cassius say, cold blue, cold blue. And I hit him with it. Boom. Dropped him. And I was just like, oh, what the hell? I was just like, in my head, I'm like, I just practiced at this. I sing Anthony Pettis. Yo, I just did that.
That's the Matrix shit.
That's the Matrix shit. I'm like, yo.
That's when you realize, bro.
Oh my god! It just like and I'm like I don't wanna. I ended up sending the kid to the hospital.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But it wasn't anything bad. He just ate. You know, he got shin to the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just remember being like, you know when in school like they're trying to explain something to you and you're like, I don't get this at all. Like this, Simcostan math problems. Like I don't. But
this,
the body mechanics. You know what I mean? Like I just seen somebody do it. I did it, and it worked out. I'm like, oh, I'm hooked for life. Like this is all I want to do. You know what I mean? And it like opened this sense of like I'm capable of something. You know what I mean? Like I know I can practice something and I can do it, and and give me confidence in life. You know what I mean? And it's like just moments like that. I'll never forget that moment. You know, and it was just
that's so cool. I'm gonna tie this into the idea of the confidence that I see in my fellow brother, like being in martial arts.
Yeah.
You know, that feeling that you talked about of, you know, doing something and just feeling like it's in your blood and it's in your veins is kind of how I felt when I got exposed to MMA.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, yo, like, I'm so excited when this happens.
Yeah.
And there's something about, you know, being in an environment where I get to see you do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're my brother.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly,
right?
bro. For
Like,
real, bro.
And then you express the same feeling of like exhilaration when you're in this space. I'm like, there has to be something that in some way draws certain people like
Exactly.
Kings and Queens. This episode is brought to you by Pepperdem Single Spice. Let's talk about flavor. You know how sometimes food can be a little bland and you're not feeling that spicy kick in your food? I've got the perfect solution for you. Introducing Pepperdem Single Spice. Straight from the heart of Nigerian street food culture. This spice is carefully sourced to give you the authentic, bold, and peppery flavor that will elevate everything you eat. Trust me, I take this everywhere I go. I add it to everything. Beef, pasta, rice, noodles, and yes, even to my water. Whether you're cooking at home or enjoying a takeout, Pepperdem Sea Spice will take your meal to the next level. Order your pack today at pepperdem.ca and use the discount code OBA to get 20% off your order. Spice up your food, guys. You'll love it. Alright, let's get back to the show. Let's go, guys. Mwah. Love you guys. It draws certain people like
Exactly. Exactly.
And like our forefathers, some ways,
Warriors, right? Well, warrior. There has to be something there. You know what I mean? And like, oh man, it's like the connection that you have with people through the blood, sweat, and tears. Because at times we'll see us through our hardest times, whether it's the sparring or whether it's just being able to talk about techniques or talk about the sport, right? You get to grow with somebody, like, and there's no.
That's so real in martial arts.
Yeah,
like,
man,
it's so real.
You know
how you train with somebody and that coalition of you guys just meshing body together in training, in mind, just makes you grow. It makes me grow.
Exactly, and that connection of growth, man, of seeing, whether it's even just seeing you since you've started there, since you've been at Greg's, or just seeing people who just technique get better and growth and just the other stuff that we're talking about, just mentally getting stronger and seeing like the growth and confidence, right? Because you probably see it so much more than me, like in jiu-jitsu, right? You see like some people walk in, or they're so tentative on, like, you see people have like like almost no confidence, right? And you just see people change and grow, man, and you feel part of their journey, and you get to share.
And you see them have that like extra like shoulder, like they're a bit more broader, and like they get a bit more like
you see people just open up, you know, and it's like, it's such a beautiful thing that, like, I think people don't understand about this. You know, they get to just see such a most people have, if you don't have like a genuine look into something, whether it's like martial arts or people's different passions or things, you have such a surface level view of it. So you just look at it as like two people beating the fuck out of each other, people beating the shit out of each other. You know what I mean? They don't realize like the aspect of like learning the techniques or like the little intricacies of whether it's just like footwork or whether it's just certain positions as in grappling, just like rhythms, cadences, distance. And it's like it's so to just look at it as two people fighting is just such a basic mental way of looking at it, man. It's such a beautiful art, human chess, or you know what I mean? And it's like that mindset of like I said, like growth, of seeing people being able to be like, you know, like that chess aspect of like, okay, you got my king today, but I'm gonna get you, you know, I'm gonna get you next time. You know what I mean? So,
and also like taking stuff back. I'm like, okay, I don't know what you did there, but I want to go think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm gonna call back. I'm gonna ask you a question about it. And
it's it always ties back to that, right? Like being able, especially being able, and being in a good gym where you can have those things, right? Where there's no ego involved and there's so many aspects of people helping each other out, right? Because it's like anything can become bad or toxic, but as long as the head of the snake or the head of the table is a person that's just doesn't have ego or pride, because there's martial arts will shed that, you know. And I've had that in times, you know, when I first started fighting, it's like you gain so much confidence, but then it's that monster, that demon, that ego and pride, right? You know, like you feel like you're so much better than people sometimes.
And the thing about that demon is that you gotta keep taming it. It's like you're never like done. It's like, I got my ego in check. Like you gotta always have your ego in check.
Because I think there's a thing to having a healthy amount of ego. Like maybe it's not, maybe ego's the wrong word, but just like confidence. Maybe I'll call it confidence instead of calling it an ego. But like to go out there and try and subdue a human that's trying to take you out, you have to believe in yourself. And I went through so many fight camps where I wasn't doing what I was supposed to, or losing close fights and being like, oh, you know, if I wasn't doing this or wasn't doing that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you have to look at yourself in the mirror and you have to be like, okay, was I doing my best in the gym? And you have to be able to be reflective enough to hold yourself accountable, to be like, I know I wasn't giving my all, and like don't give myself an excuse to kind of like lollygag it. You have to look at yourself in the mirror, man, because you're the only one that went in there. So yeah.
I think we are blessed on the island here, and we have a lot of great gyms. And this just ties into something I wanted to talk to you about.
Yes.
Which is we have two very cool gyms that are considering, or I think, you know, coming together and offering, you know, something for, I think that's for the people.
Yeah, it's for the people, man. And I think there's this no disrespect to any other gyms, but there was a need for like I feel like a lot of the guys that want to do mixed martial arts, or the guys that kind of want to do jiu-jitsu and want to do striking, because there's a lot of gyms, amazing gyms that offer, you know, both, but just as the art itself, whether it's jiu-jitsu or striking. And so my brother's been training with Rich Cavendish, Hood Rich Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, shout out Hood Rich. And my brother's been training with Rich for, I don't want to say 4 years, maybe a little bit long. He's a purple belt in Jiu-Jitsu, and he comes from the era of striking and, you know, the dark days where, you know, like, you just show up and spar, and it wasn't like light sparring or tech sparring. You know, you beat the shit out of them. You just go hard, and then you fucking go on with your life after, you know?
I saw Cash's box one day. I was like, oh my god, man, this man is a force,
dude. And it's funny.
Jesus.
I don't want to get off topic, but like, getting to my early fights, like sparring with him, because being brothers, like you're training with your brother, like once sparring gets a little like
Yeah, a little too much.
it gets crazy, you know what I mean? Because there was a while there we couldn't spar, like nobody would let us spar because it would get heated. But like sparring him and like going to fight somebody else at 147, I'm like, dude, I just got the shit beaten out of me by a 230-pound man with hand speed like a freaking welterweight, dog. Getting pissed off, and I'm like, I'm supposed to go in this and fight somebody else. Easy work. Yeah, but anyway, like, so my brother came up in that, and he just kind of wanted to dial back the head stuff for a bit. He just kind of wanted, so he started doing jiu-jitsu, and just like fell in love with the sport, and he really he loves that sport so much, and they've kind of always flirted with the idea. And I think just with recent events, like they're just like, hey, maybe let's try and put something together. You know what I mean? Because like I said, they're like really good friends, and it's just another avenue for another one-stop shop so you can get for everybody. Yeah, man. So
yeah, I was so excited when I saw it. It's like it's too niche. I'll say disciplines that have lots of bridges. Yeah, and there are lots of people who kind of want to train both. So it's I think it's huge for the jiu-jitsu community. Yeah, I think Hood Reach is a fantastic gym. Yes, and also it's huge for merge combat as well. I think you guys are a great kickboxing community. Man. I'm like that's such a beautiful merge.
Yeah, exactly, man. Pun intended, bitch. Pun intended. Exactly. All puns intended. So yeah, and it just makes it perfect for me because I've always loved grappling. Like I think I said it, the first time I ever kind of tried a martial art, just the one time was I tried a jiu-jitsu, right? So being able to do jiu-jitsu and strike as well, man, I just martial arts, man. Again,
oh yeah. Okay. I also wanted to ask you. So at Merge Combat, you're one of the coaches.
I'm one of the coaches. Yeah.
It's so cool. I wanted you to talk a little bit about what your coaching experience is like, Merge, and do you take on skilled trainers and hobbyists, or do you just not mind in terms of personal training?
I kind of just like the whole aspect of it, like you said, like just the skill aspect, the skill building, the fighter, and just kind of the hobbyist, right? Like people get really intimidated, they hear boxing or kickboxing and they're like, think it's this like real intense thing. Like they're going to show up and just spar. Yeah. That's what everybody thinks. It's like, yo, do I have to spar when I come? I'm like, dog, it's a boxing and kickboxing class. You know what I mean? So just being able to spread the knowledge of like the technical aspect of it, right? Like really, it goes back to the thing of like watching somebody grow and not just treating it like somebody just showing up. Obviously it's an amazing workout, you know what I mean, but like learning the techniques properly and just being able to like pass down the years of knowledge that I would learn, because I've spent a lot of time, not just my brother, I've spent a lot of time with Greg, spent a lot of time with Stan. I lived in Vancouver for a year and a half, and I got to train with an amazing team over there, and I like every few months he was having Thai trainers from different gyms. So like you get, as much as Muay Thai, it's the art of 8 limbs, there's everybody has a different style, right? So you get to learn so much, and I feel like I soak up technique a lot, you know what I mean? And getting to pass this down as a coach, just even on the getting in shape aspect, it's a fulfilling thing to do, right? Like fighting is fun, but seeing somebody just pick up a technique, right? Like trying to make somebody do something, like, and you see it click or something, right? I get to feel it as a competitor, as a fighter. It was like when something clicks and I see Greg or my brother, like I see them like the light bulb, like see them like pep up, like, okay, what I'm instilling in you is working, you know what I mean? So just like getting to do something that you love, like to tie it back in, like when about earlier story, like doing something that I genuinely love, you know what I mean? And Yeah, bro. It's
Training with you, honestly, bro, it's. I remember we were training last week, no, 2 weeks ago, not last week, and we were training. I think we were sparring, and you just said something to me while we were sparring, and it just made so much sense.
yeah.
If I remember correctly, I think it was something about jab.
Yes.
It was something about
Your jab,
Yeah,
lead hand, yeah.
and like the rest of sparring that day,
Yeah.
that night,
Yeah.
I was just like, it was right there. It was my voice was just ringing in my hand. So I appreciate how you share knowledge is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I think you do have a gift for it.
Yeah.
And talking to you today it makes sense because you're passionate and you spend so much time learning these things. And to someone who has that passion to then be interested in sharing that knowledge is really cool.
Yeah.
So it's like, hell yeah. If
man.
any of y'all niggas
How much you doing?
holla at you, boy, to get some really, really good training. I think James is wonderful.
Exactly. Thank you.
Man.
Man.
It's really good when you talk to. I know you don't do that to everybody, but like you are an OG too. A lot of us, I definitely consider you an OG.
Yeah.
So like when
bro.
you give me pointers and when you say things, like it might be something I've heard before, but it's how you say it.
Exactly, right?
It's how you say it, and
That's
and
because there's so it's funny because sometimes that'll happen with me and my brother, and like we have that. He's my brother, so it's we butt heads a lot of the times, but Greg will say something, I'll be like, oh, Cassius was kind of saying the same thing, or like Cassius will say something, I'll be like, okay, yeah, Greg, because I lean on them a lot because those are like two of the most inspirational people I have in my life, you know what I mean? So it's it is somebody. It just takes somebody to say one thing, and it's just watching that, like even seeing you that right after that, like the round you went after that, you're just fucking jabbing my face off. I was like, okay, that's what I like to see, man. And it's just that's all it's about, man, is passing down the knowledge that we learn, because what am I going to do with it? All I do is watch the sport, you know, like I watched every Friday, one puts out a card, I'm watching one on that, and then I'm watching the UFC Saturday, then I'm watching box. So like that, like I just watch old school fights. Like this is all I love to do. Like it and you know, you see people like talk about like having a passion and like a purpose, like, and people will probably think I'm crazy, but like that's all I watch. I'll watch the old school boxing fights from the 80s, the K1 fights from the 90s and the early 2000s, fucking jiu-jitsu, you know? Like, I just love watching the art of competition at the highest level and watching you like that energy exchange that we're talking about, but you're watching the best in the world do it. Like, what can I wish I had my phone in here because I just have like clips of like me recording things to watch because it's so beautiful, man. It's like, oh man, I just love that shit, dog.
It's such a beautiful community to be a part of, and like seeing you get fired up. This is what, you know, this is what gets us going. It's like no matter how many injuries, how down we feel, like it's fucking exhausting.
Oh, it is, man.
Like it lights up something in you.
Exactly. And no matter like how bad the day is, like after you're done training, it's just like, what was that bullshit that I was thinking about? That it's nothing, man. I just got beat up for, you know, I'm gonna get beat up and you're just like, I'm cool, man. Some days I'll show up and freaking shout out Matt Stukenberg, you know, he's the
Matt is the dog. Matt, I go to bed sometimes, I'm thinking about Matt. I'm like, where I'm at.
Man, I'm just like, fuck, I gotta go deal with that motherfucker more. But like a guy like that's just so hard nosed, so tough, and he brings out the best. Because some rounds you'll get frustrated because he's so good at pressure staying on you. But once like something lands or something works, like you feel better after the round because you're like, okay, like this is what a fight's gonna feel like. He's giving me what I need, you know what I mean? And he's giving me the exchange of energy that I need to grow and be better, right? And just, you know, it's trial by fire. You're just like you're in a fight.
You have to. It's like you have to be awake.
You know, sometimes you have to have some warm-up, right, before they get to him.
No, you can't start with Matt, bro. No, like it's like no, you're like 5 rounds in. It's like you're warm, you're flowing, you're like okay, you're sweating. If you go to the
no, you know what's funny now? That day you're talking about 2 weeks ago, you started with him. Yeah. I was like, it's so funny because I remember looking back.
I do that sometimes. It's so bad.
I remember looking back, and I'm like, this guy's starting with Matt. God.
Well, sometimes when I start with Matt, it's like I know it's gonna get hard. It's like so like I better like come in hard.
Jump into the deep end right away, man. I'm just like,
Matt, I'm sorry. This is my public apology.
this is the public apology. Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah. I was thinking I do have one more thing for you. I have some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
I'm thinking we could end with that. But is there anything else you want to mention to the people?
This is like my pride and joy, man. I love this sport. I love combat sports just as the whole whatever's under that umbrella, you know what I mean? It brings me so much happiness to see like the growth in people that you learn from it, and the ups and downs of life, like my journey through the fighting. I haven't treated this sometimes as it should be, man, because you have to respect this sport.
Yeah.
You have to respect the training. You can't take things for granted. And I've had my issues with substances and the partying, and I kind of, while I was going through martial arts, I let that, I thought I was that person. I forgot who I was. And you get lost in the sauce, man. And it's always been that thing that no matter how bad things have gone, I still have had martial arts, man. And I'll take it back to a story where I went to fight in Seattle. I was living in Vancouver at the time, and I hadn't fought. I took about a 2.5 year layoff. I had gotten knocked out. And I was going through some real mental health issues, man. I was in the hospital for a week and was in a bad place. Pick a fight I shouldn't have, and it was my first time getting knocked out. So after that, I kind of went through this spiral, and that 2.5 years off was I think it was needed. And then I went and trained. I was living in Vancouver, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to fight?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I'm 100% in." And we booked a fight in Seattle. And I ended up fighting the state champ in Washington, and I was training hard, but I wasn't running. Like I was training super hard, but like I was kind of neglecting the whole aspect of it, right? Yeah. And so we go there, we're fighting, and man, those first 2 rounds, I'm smoking this kid, bro. Like clean, like he couldn't even touch me. Second round, I almost finished him twice. Almost KO'd him with a head kick and like a minute into the round. Then like when the round ended, almost finished him again. The third round came, and I remember like I'm feeling good halfway through, and then it was just like
That's like a fall off.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh shit, I can't throw shit. And he was mainly a boxing dominant type of dude. So he was just trying to close the distance a lot. But once that energy's gone, I'm just like, oh, well, I'm hot. So the third round happens, the fourth, and I'm just like, and like when you come back to the corner, you're supposed to try and relax yourself. Once you start doing that, my God, oh dude, fourth round comes.
That's it.
And instead of trying to stay tight, you're trying to push this motherfucker off you. And I remember like 20 seconds left in the fourth round. It's going 10 seconds. And I just remember like being so tired. It's like, I don't even want to be here. Like I remember telling myself that. And then the 10 second.
And that's it.
The 10 second mark, when the one first. Yeah, at the end of the round. Yeah. I remember hearing that. And then my like I couldn't hear. All I heard was, and like it wasn't from him hitting me, but I was just so
you exhausted. You were done.
Like I was done, bro. I'm walking to the corner and I'm telling myself, I'm like, I'm gonna quit. Like that's what I'm telling myself, bro. I'm telling myself like I'm gonna quit. I sit down. My brother, Cassius, I have another brother named Eric. So they're outside of the cage. It was a kickboxing in the cage. They're outside of the cage. And my coach Ryan Diaz at the time from Diaz Combat Sports, he walks in and he's talking to me, and all I hear is, roll it. And I'm like, yo, what hello right now? Bro, it's Street Charlie Brown, dog. I mean, he's like, whoa.
That's a movie, bro.
And I'm sitting on, dude. I wish I had my phone. I have a picture of it, and he's talking to me, and I'm in my head. What? Dude, it's crazy. You've never been so tired to a mother is talking to you, and you can see his mouth moving, but all you're hearing is. And it's like, and I tell that story to hopefully inspire, but I just know. It's just that thing, like I said, if I go back and I just have them having a bad day, I'm just like, man, you didn't quit on yourself when you're in one of the most vulnerable moments in your life, because fighting is a vulnerable sport, man. You're going out there and you're in front of your friends.
It's very your soul, like, because you really, like, could die.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
You could lose your life.
Yeah, it's happening to people, right? You know, and it's vulnerable, and like you have your friends and family around, and there's so much risk for danger that like people, you know, especially we got off some chat.
Well, that's us a podcast, guy. Without all the turning around, bro.
People have, especially like in today's age of social media, like people have such a surface level where you can just like judge somebody. You see it with the best fighters in the world, man. You see people making fun of them, and you know, it's the noise, it's the crowd, right? That's part of life, right? People are gonna talk about things that they don't understand.
That's the thing, bro, is that they don't even know the half of it.
They don't. They
don't understand.
They've never been in a jiu-jitsu gym with a fucking, you're a white belt and a blue belt is on top, a purple belt, like, just like.
It's nice to have this kind of guys come in the gym. Either it's so surprising that lots of videos, like, commoners come into like boxing, striking gyms, and they realize that this is not what you think it is. You can yap all you want, but if you meet a killer in front of you, bro, trust me, you're
the real toughest dudes I've ever noticed are the most sweet, humble people, because they know a real danger, like they can cause real danger, like when they don't want that, like they do it for self-improvement, to help those around them, right? It's not just about this fake being tough, like, you know what I mean? That's like such a surface level example of strength, right? Of that outside looking in.
You know, James, like I'm so honored that you actually share your story with me and like with the people. It's really honorable.
Yeah, man.
And bro, it's like this is just the beginning of your story. You are King James, and one of the things that's coming up for you, you mentioned to me outside, you're gonna probably go pro after your next fight. Man. So it's like, it's so exciting. You still have a whole pro empty chapter ahead of you. It's like you get to fill that up with like what you want. And like, I'm so excited to see your next fight, and I'm excited to see your pro fight. Like, I want to see you fight every time. So
man, I appreciate that, bro, man.
I'm still gonna do my rapid fire.
You ready?
Are you ready?
I thought I was gonna try, and you know,
no, you get fired, you get shots. Okay, let's do this. It's just 4 easy questions. Okay. For your next fight, what's your fight night song? Your walkout song.
What Happened to That Boy by the Clips, or Ain't No Sunshine by DMX.
Hey, okay. Oh, this one we already kind of spoke about on the podcast, but I'll still ask anyway. What's the first sport you ever tried?
The first sport I ever tried was probably basketball.
Yeah, basketball. I remember you mentioned that on the pod. Okay. What is your pre-fight meal or ritual?
I don't think I necessarily have one. Like, I would say, so my post-weigh meal, I like to do a pasta. So that I would say that's a ritual. So I always do a pasta post weigh-in, and that's not the ritual. Prayer.
Yeah, prayer. Hell yeah. What is your dream venue to fight at one day?
Madison Square Garden.
And
then New York is it means a lot to me. Like, my favorite sports team, I'm a New York Knicks fan. I'm a New York Jets fan. You know what I mean? I'm a New York Yankees fan. So like, MSG, just on the sports level, but the fights, Muhammad Ali fought there, like the UFCs they've had, Conor vs. Khabib, like they've had so many big events there that like that would be such a dream, man. And it's crazy because they do have kickboxing at MSG, so like hopefully sometime next year I'll be fighting at MSG, man.
Hell yeah, I'd love to see that. Then this is the last one. Okay. What is your, if you have any dream matchup, like a celebrity matchup, but like a celebrity within the space of fighting. Yeah. How about you call out someone not in your weight class?
Right, exactly.
John Jones. Is he?
I'll say
Man, that would be a good fight, and I would watch that fight. I watch that fight.
that dude is such a inspiration to me, man.
Yeah.
Before he was in the UFC, before he fought
Glory?
so even before Glory, he fought a guy named Simon Marcus, who's like a legend from Toronto. So they fought in China in maybe 2014, 2015. So I've been watching Izzy since before he was even in Glory, like, and to see the heights he's taken this sport, bro, it's crazy, man. And like, yeah, that and him or Max Holloway. Let me say that. I thought,
That's probably yeah. That's awesome. That's all I got for you, Jay.
Yeah.
It's been an honor. I'm so glad to have you in here.
Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you, IG.
Man, this was my first podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. This was so fun, man. And even just me being able to speak those things, like, thank you for giving me the opportunity.
My pleasure, bro.
Platform, man, because it reiterates these things that, like, you know, that I tell myself, and but whether the fight aspect of it, like, I feel like I'm a caring person, and I feel like I just want to.
You're a very loving person, boy. It's so typical. A lot of people say this about really good martial artists, like the best fighters, and you meet these people. I met you, and I'm like, I was expecting aggressive, like. Not sure because for a long time I didn't know you.
Yeah, exactly.
And yo, bro, you're so sweet.
Yeah, bro. Thanks, man. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, and like, there's duality in life. Like, I can be this nice, good person, but when it comes to that fighting aspect, like, I'm a mother. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fast, man. I got good footwork. Previously I used to think of my only trait in this sport, obviously, just like my IQ, but I didn't really think I had power. And like, now that I feel,
oh, bro, it's so solid, bro. Like your muscle, we're not moving. Like I'm touching you, and you're like, get that. Yeah.
we're not so straight out of here. Don't get shit. Man, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate this, and like, this has been like an eye-opening thing to just like to reiterate these things that I have about myself, you know what I mean? That this belief that I have in myself, and this belief that I have that I'm gonna be able to pass this knowledge down, you know what I mean? Because like, a dream of mine eventually, sorry to keep on going.
No, like a
dream of mine is to kind of go back home to Africa and be able to spread this knowledge, right? Like, to maybe have a school there, and because, you know what I mean? Like, right?
that's like the ultimate, bro.
Yeah, that's like being able to spread the knowledge with where I'm from, right?
Yeah.
So
Like, back to the roots, bro.
back to the roots, and you get to show these kids with who would do things like, if they learn things like this, they would be unstoppable, right? So just, man, just spread good vibes, man. Love and peace for everyone, and just, man, try to do better every day, and the journey is by yourself, man. It's just self-improvement, you know. Try and have a community around you, but know that it's just up to you to try and make yourself better. It doesn't matter if it's financially but just try and grow as a human every day, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. Like, I really, that in a sense is kind of like the summary of one of the things I try to portray with the podcast.
Yeah.
I think you're a king. I am a king.
You're a king, exactly.
And the podcast is OBAS podcast, which is like a new name for the King's podcast.
The King's podcast.
So it's like, it's really cool. I think all my guests who come in here, I invite them because they're kings, and I do see that in you. I see that nobility. I see that kingship, and I think in you just, you know, that drive, which is the summary, which is try to be better every day. I think that's what makes us king.
Exactly.
Just the awareness to know that I want self-improvement for myself.
Yes.
That in itself makes you a king. So you saying that just kind of tell me that's the theme for my podcast that you're kind of portraying away. So it's really cool that you say it that way.
Yeah,
so I agree with that message, bro. 100%.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
My guy.
James, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, guys.
This is the OBAS podcast, the King's podcast.